Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's here. 15 miles. Here we go. We're out here, 6:30 a.m. Saturday, me and a couple of my friends who you've seen a few weeks ago. And you know me, I came up with 15 things to talk about on this run, and I'm trying to channel, I know it's blue, but my skirt's white, trying to channel a little Frozen 2 Elsa for going to the unknown. It's a hard sell, but you know. And I'm also testing how I'm going to carry my cameras and my fuel and stuff for the race, because I don't plan on wearing this. So I have, one thing I have in here is a few cough drops and of course my drink, but I have my water bottle down here that I would normally use. I got my phone and got my belt with all my other stuff. So we're gonna see. But let's get started because I'm really nervous. There it is. I was waiting for my walk break. Okay. It's dark. I know you can't see me on this. Alright, so 15 things for a 15-mile run. I came up with a list of my favorite YouTubes and podcasts. These are in no particular order of favorite, but I have to start with Mouse Jen, my sister and brother-in-law. They do a lot of cruising, a lot of parks, and they are Run Disney veterans. Love them dearly. They kept me going the right direction at Princess. Love them so much. Alright, so that's mile 1. We're actually already into mile 2, so here we go. Mile 2, dedicated to Gerald Resnick. Rez Runs. Most everyone probably knows about him at this point. His story is amazing. And it's just been very inspiring for me. And he hasn't, made any newer videos in a while, but I still daily will go back and find one of his old ones just to watch his journey. So good. Thank you, Gerald, for everything you do. And also I had the pleasure of getting my Princess Challenge medal from him. I'll insert that picture here. Mile 3 is for you, Heather Jorgensen. I've loved your packing videos recently on YouTube. They've been fun to watch. Keep up the awesome work. And of course, we'll talk about the podcast here in a minute. Here we go, running. Mile 4 is dedicated to Kristen, running and makeup. She gave me a good piece of advice for this run today. She did her 15 yesterday and killed it, and she said, after the first 2 miles, you've done that distance before. So just make the first 2 the new, and after that, you've done it before. Which I thought was a pretty cool way of thinking about it. So that's what we're doing. 4 miles in. Camera switch and restroom break. And took my first fuel. We're 5 miles in. So carrying the cameras the way I seem to be doing it, I think will work for January, so that's good. I was a little worried about that. So mile 5 is dedicated to allergies, is dedicated to Kimberly, Bella898. Love the channel, and I always tell them whenever I comment that I just love how they do things as a family and are so encouraging of each other. So love their channel. I hope their training is going well. Kimberly, Mama, Mr. James. Love them. Hope to get to meet Mama and Mr. James soon. All right, so we are gonna keep going. We're a third of the way done. Okay, I'm a couple miles behind. We just finished 7. So I'll throw in 2 right now. Jar, Ox, and Spoon, Jared and Lindsay. Lindsay gives the best hugs. I can't wait to get another hug at Marathon. And my goal at Marathon is to meet the rest of the slackers. And then also Estrella, Fairy Tale Runner. All of these live in Texas, but if you want to see someone who really has persevered through some hard times, go watch Fairy Tale Runner. She's pretty inspiring. Okay, we got single digits to go and some beautiful scenery. All right, halfway check-in. Feeling okay. Try not to think too far ahead, just where I am. So, 7.5 more to go. All right, my legs hurt. 10.8 in. I'm behind on my whole plan for this, so. Next up, Sisters Run the World. Kimmy, Katie, and Melissa. I've loved following their journey, and I've I said hi to Kim briefly in the corrals at Princess. I hope to meet the other 2 sisters in January. So you girls are doing awesome in your training. Can't wait to see you. Almost 11 and a half in, and I took honey stinger waffles at 10 miles, and for whatever reason it didn't really agree with my stomach, so I'm having to walk a little extra till my tummy settles down a little bit, but it'll give me a chance to catch up a little bit. Sorry for the road traffic. So moving into non-run Disney, but still Disney related, Mammoth Club, Molly, Max, and Alan's new channel. I love their energy. They're so funny. And then Resort TV 1 is one of my favorite live streaming ones as well. Okay, we can do this. We can do this. 3.5 to go. We can do it. I don't remember the last time I checked in, but we're done now. I had to not talk for a minute, but it's 15 miles, 2 hours, 47 minutes, 28 seconds.
Yoo-hoo.
Thank you, Emily.
You're welcome. Anytime.
I don't know what would have happened if she hadn't been here, actually. I probably would have stopped.
No, she would have made it, but I was happy I could join you.
So, and I still have plenty more to share, but we'll do that after I get home and sit for a second. So we're back and showered and wet hair, and it's my favorite look, you know. So I really maybe need to stop trying to talk about things every mile of long runs, because it really doesn't seem to work out. But I believe I left off at Resort TV 1. So the last 2 YouTube channels are newer to me. I think that they've actually been doing this thing for a bit. But Olive Branch Inspirations and My Terrific Life, which her name is Tara, these 2. They're newer to me, and I really enjoyed getting to play catch up and, you know, going back. I'm sorry if I have a cough drop in my mouth because I'm still battling this cough, so I'm sorry if you can tell that I have something in my mouth, but but these 2 are two newer ones to me, but it's fun to, you know, go back and watch their older videos, and then to know that just like with several of the other ones, that, you know, we're all training for very similar races in January, and it's just super fun. And then Tara actually lives in Georgia as well, so that's super fun. And then Olive Branch Inspiration, she is up in Tennessee, so we're all kind of in the same area, so that's super fun. Okay, so the 4 podcasts that I wanted to talk about during the run. First is Rise and Run, also newer to me. They just had their 50th episode, which was a Q&A, which is super fun to listen to, and they just interviewed the Balloon Ladies for this week's episode, which I listened to the other day. But I love them, love the group that they have and the conversations that they have, and it's a really fun one to listen to. DCL Podcast. Now, they're a Disney Cruise Line. It's a lot of what they talk about, but they've actually been doing the Run Disney Rundown with my sister and brother-in-law over at Mouse Gen, because several of them, actually I think maybe all of them that are part of the DCL podcast have done Run Disney. So they got some cool podcasts. They've taken the Run Disney Rundown that they have up on YouTube, and they put it in podcast form on their podcast page. So that's another good one that I like to listen to. Runners Without Limits, like I said, I'd get back to Heather. So Heather and Jen do that podcast, and it's another, just all of these are just really great ones to listen to. But I've always appreciated their podcast for, how real they are, and then it's not, they're, very much supportive of the run walk situation, and, just that life could get in the way sometimes of our running. And they're very real about it, and I really appreciate that. Okay, and then my last one is not a Run Disney one, but it is Disney. It's Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug are hilarious. Two dads that do this this podcast, and they talk Disney news, and they have mentioned that they maybe one day will do Run Disney. I think that was in like one episode, but absolutely love listening to them. They're so funny, but amidst all the funny, you really get some good tips on how to do Disney parks. So absolutely love their podcast. Okay, so that is all the ones I wanted to talk about during my run that I didn't get around to. Feeling good, came back, put my legs up. I'm planning on doing an Epsom salt bath later, but 15 miles, I don't know what happened with my honey stinger waffles, but they made my stomach kind of hurt a little bit after okay, hang on. My puppy is being naughty, so I have to go reprimand. Hang on. Okay, now we're back. And she's gonna sit right here with me. Sit down. Sit. There we go. I'll show her in a little bit, but overall, I was telling my run buddy, cardiovascularly felt fine. I looked at my heart rate. My heart rate did not. Hi. My heart rate didn't get high at all. So cardiovascularly felt awesome, and my legs just felt tight there towards the end. And I think that's just probably getting used to. I mean, I've always run back to back, but these longer miles like this, and then doing the back to backs, I think is gonna be a new thing. All right. So our MEB lesson, this is week 14, which, hey, we're officially halfway, and we're less than 100 days to Marathon Expo Day, which is very exciting. Okay, so we're on his 13th marathon. What are you doing? You cannot sit with me. And she's walking under the tripod. Okay. She's being naughty because she's being ignored. Okay. There we go. 13th marathon. The 2010 Boston Marathon, April 19th. He didn't do as well in this one. As we remember, I think it was just this last one he finally placed first. And his next goal was to win Boston after that one. His key lesson is it's better to be 90% ready and make it to the start line than to panic and become either overtrained or unable to start the race. So, his goal was to win, but he actually did approach this race with being that 90% ready. And it's just that I think the other people that he was running against were, just that much more ready to win that race. But he didn't feel overtrained, and he didn't, like a few of his other races, he had been overtrained, He was also going into this race with a little bit of an injury. It says that as he was getting ready, gearing up towards Boston, where he was living, there was snow and ice, and he had slipped and fell on his knee, and then he, a week later, slipped and fell again on that same knee, and it was patellar tendonitis, basically, was what was happening, which can be really aggravating. Any sort of tendonitis can sometimes take a while to go away. But so that he was dealing with that leading up to Boston. While he was running the race, I'm pretty sure it was the same knee, or same leg with the knee that he had fell on. His quad started acting up about during the Heartbreak Hill section, and it wasn't his day, basically. Like he said at the beginning, he was at that 90%, but it just, it wasn't his day, but he knew he hadn't overtrained, and he was able to start, he was able to finished 5th, and not a terrible time. It was 2:09. Yes, 2:09. And what he says here at the end: still, that year's Boston was a key race in my career. It strengthened my belief that I could win Boston. Despite the ruptured quad, oh, but yes, it ended up being ruptured. I had run 30 seconds faster on the Boston course than I had 4 years earlier, and only 11 seconds off personal best I'd set in New York. So, even though he placed 5th, his time was not terrible, and it's like that for me in my age group, because, I like to try to place in my age group. It's all about who shows up that day, Those last 2 miles in the 5:20s alone put an extra 40 seconds on what my time might have otherwise been. And I'd run that fast just 2 months after resuming training. All of that told me that I could run under 2:09 on the Boston course. Most years that will get you a victory there. You just need to get to the start line healthy. So I know that like yesterday, I had a lot of nervous energy thinking about today, and sometimes I get that way right before a race. Feeling like, did I do enough? Am I ready? So I try to find little things to do. Like, I made cookies for my run buddies. I, will do chores. Just take that nervous energy, put it somewhere, not into doing even more work for your training and making your body tired. And I definitely get that nervous energy before a race. So speaking of races, next week is an off week. I'll be talking about what my goals are for my races that I have coming up in the following week. For the 17-mile long run, I'm actually signed up for a half. So I'll run that and then run a little bit extra to get up to that 17. But I'm really excited. I realized that it's my first half that I've actually raced, because my only other official half race was Disney, and I was just having fun. And I'm gonna try, I won't talk about my goals, we'll save it for next week, but yes, so I think that was a good one. Just be careful of that overtraining. I think it's easy to get to that point where you're overtrained. But I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's training is going well. And I think you got to see, I think she was in the shot of Sadie being a little naughty today while I'm doing this, but be sure to give this video a like and comment and let me know how your training's going. How did your 15 miles go? And if any of you are like me where you haven't run farther than a half, today's the first day that happened. Oh, one thing I was going to share. So my sister and brother-in-law, they like to do like get hyped music when they're getting ready for Run Disney races. So on my way to meet my run friends this morning, I put on the Encanto soundtrack on my way there, and then I specifically wanted to play the Isabella song, What Else Can I Do? And just to get me in the mindset of, I can do this, and I'm going to be going even farther than this, and I can do it. Not to get too much in my head about it. And that get hype music thing is definitely helpful to get you in the right mindset. So I think that, and then I was trying to channel the Elsa into the unknown thing. It was all good, and I'm really excited to see. I'm going to be topping this every week from now on, and that's just mind-blowing to me. So it's just crazy. But anyway, so give me a comment if you're like me and all of this is new from this point on. And be sure to subscribe. I'm really excited to share the races I'm going to be doing here soon. It'll be a fun time. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece, and I will see you next week for rest week. Yay! Bye. Are you done being naughty? Are you done being naughty? You're so cute.